Hi everyone, welcome to the Demigodest Channel. I thought it would be good to have an episode for married couples, especially married couples that are going through a failed marriage. These are real Q&A questions from people that are currently in a relationship and they wanted advice. And I am a certified life coach, so why not get involved and why not go a little bit in detail about some of the topics that they need answers to. So the first one is it weird that my fiance asked if he could marry his best friend for insurance purposes? Hold on. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Sorry, I did not have the microphone up, but sorry. Okay, hold on. There we go. All right. So it says, is it weird that my fiance asked if he could marry his best friend for insurance purposes? He later said it was a joke, but I still feel uneasy. Is this normal behavior between guy friends? Well, for one, I think you should really ask yourself, is this normal behavior between them? Do they have jokes like this? Is this something out of the ordinary? I will say because of, how expensive things are in the United States right now, men are considering, especially since gay marriage is legal in um, a lot of the states, that they are marrying, their friends, etc., for insurance purposes, but they still live their separate lives and things like that. Is that illegal? Yes, that is illegal. You really should be in a real relationship and not just use someone for insurance purposes. But again, I mean, look at the statistics and look at how everything is going in the US. I would just have a conversation with my partner and say, like, that makes me uneasy. Were you being serious about that? Is this something that you've considered before? Um I would get a little bit more detail before I get super super upset if I were you. I would be a little bit worried though. I will pay attention. Um on how my partner acts around that person. I would pay closer attention to that person. Okay. So that's question number one. I hope to help. Question number two is, I threw red wine on my daughter in law at her wedding because she got married without my permission. Now my whole family is angry at me. Am I in the wrong? First of all, that is a very narcissistic question. What do you mean, are you not wrong? You threw red wine on someone at a wedding. That is ridiculous. You made everything about you. You could have talked to your daughter in law in private at the wedding if it was so needed to have it during the wedding time. Um, because you essentially ruined, I don't know how the rest of the wedding went after that, but that definitely was dramatic. You made that about yourself. Not everyone wants to have someone's permission nowadays. Marriage has definitely taken a turn. I don't know if it's for the right or for the wrong, but people are not being traditional nowadays. So can you necessarily be mad at it? I mean, especially if your daughter-in-law doesn't have those values. That's completely disrespectful. Yes, that behavior is very narcissistic. You shouldn't have done that. Okay. Question number two. It says, my marriage of 16 years is boring. Am I wrong for wishing my wife would spice things up with me? She doesn't like my ideas. Well, I think marriage is very important. Congratulations, you guys been married for 16 years. Child, mine didn't even make it that long. Congratulations to 16 years though. And being with anyone for 16 years, whether you're married or not, I could see how it could be dull if you guys do not spice it up. I think it's very important when you first get married. that you have conversations and you build in things in your marriage for you guys to do check-ins. Some people have certain milestones in their marriage, maybe at the 5-year mark or 10-year mark. Maybe they'll spice up the bedroom and bring another person in. Not saying that that is something that you want to do or need to do, but just giving you an example. Um, some people play together, some people don't play together. It really just depends. I think those conversations really should be had at the beginning of your relationship, so you guys have that, or it's not something that you would just throw onto your partner. And it could be anything. Um and then I think you guys should do check-ins all throughout your marriage. I don't think you're wrong for wishing your wife would spice things up. If you had a conversation with her and she has not spiced things up, maybe you should, incorporate some of your ideas, show her. It really kind of depends on the type of learner and listener your partner is, and then move accordingly based on that. You kind of have to get um it's not that you're manipulating your partner, but it's really important that you know your partner's love language, right? And you communicate in that language. So you're going to have to communicate in your partner's love language to get what you want, or at least have a compromise on what you want. That would be my advice. She doesn't like your ideas. Okay, well, ask her to come up with some ideas and then you guys come up with a compromise. Or why don't you guys come up with ideas together? So you guys could both feel like your voice is being heard, and what you're doing, it actually is something that both of you want to do. It's not that she's doing something that you want her to do, and vice versa. I think that's how you should tackle it. um and is this sexual ideas, or is this like, I don't know, going on dates? Like, what is it? Okay. Next question is, would you divorce your husband if he becomes disabled, or would you still love him and care for him? Well, first of all, I take marriage very seriously. Part of the vows is till death do us part. That also includes and sickness and health, right? That includes when your partner becomes sick or they become disabled, you're supposed to take care of them. You're supposed to take care of them. That's one of the main reasons of a marriage. You're going to have that partner to take care of you. Now, sometimes people just can't take care of people. It's just not, you know, in their blood, or they have like limitations and boundaries, which I think it's excellent that people have limitation and boundaries. But you should have that conversation with your partner before, you know, that happens. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you should have had a conversation. Now, it could be some things. Some people, like me, for example, I didn't know this until I worked at a nursing home for a little bit, that I don't want to wipe anyone's butt, meaning like a bowel movement. I would definitely have to hire someone to do that, because I know overall, long term, I could not do that. But that's not saying I would give up on my partner. I would just have, an outside person come in and help me, and I'll still take care of my partner, if it got to that point. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't think you should divorce your partner. And it is a lot. Like, being a caretaker is a lot, and some people just aren't caretakers. But I mean, again, if you can't do something, or you feel like, something is just too much of a burden, look into the resources, see if there's, anything, ask the case manager, or wherever your partner is receiving medical services, or psychiatric services. See what other outside agencies can help you. Also, see your benefits on your insurance, see how that works. If you have money, pay someone to do the work. Pay someone to do the work. So, no, I would not divorce my partner. I mean, if you're going to divorce your partner because you can't take care of them, then something is wrong with you. You should have never got married. Next question. What should a wife do when her husband controls her money? She's poorly educated. Her work experience is 20 years ago, and her husband is going to divorce her for a 19-year-old trophy, second wife. Wow, that is a lot to unpack here. Well, first and foremost, I'm a woman about independence. I would never encourage anyone to just settle down and stop working. Even if you marry someone that's a billionaire, create your own business. Therefore, You still have a running working history. You never want to give someone power over you. You never want to be in a situation where you're going to have to depend on your partner. And I'm pretty sure, when people start seeing, like a 20-year age uh not age gap, but a 20-year work history gap, it's going to be very hard for you to get a job, so still try. I mean, there's so many things for you to do, somebody will hire you. You may have to settle for something part-time until you could build up and um get to you were going. Do you not have any contacts? Do you not have anyone, that could refer you for a job? Start looking at that, start looking at content creating too, turn your pain into something, create a podcast, create a YouTube, um, do things based on that. Okay. Um, you're poorly educated. It's never too late to go back to school, pick up a trade, do a lot of research. At this time, look in your city and see if there's any resources, see if there's any divorce support groups in your city, in your town. You never know. It kind of is, you're kind of gonna have to do some research, and you're gonna have to network to get, the ball rolling. And it might be a little bit uncomfortable at first, but at least you'll get to a place where you're gonna be able to sustain yourself, but you're gonna have to put yourself out there. But never ever again let yourself go. Also, too, I would sue my spouse to no end. You're divorcing me for a 19-year-old. I gave up most of my life to be with you, and my situation. I would give them a run for their money during the divorce for sure. And I definitely would go for spousal support, because you have provided this lifestyle for me, and now you're taking it away from me. How am I going to support myself? And I have a 20-year work experience age gap. Well, not age gap, a 20-year work experience gap. Come on now. So that's what I would do. This has nothing to do. Okay, hold on. Is it possible to make a marriage work if he cheated? The female is 25. He is 31. 5 years together. He cheated on me during the first years of our relationship. It was long distance. He had a friend with benefits. For 2 years, I just learned about it and confronting him. He lied to me in my face, but accepted after. He didn't want to justify it. Just told me that he was an idiot during that time. He begged me to give him a chance and work on it because he doesn't want to spend his life with nobody else. We were married this year, and we are expecting a baby. My partner looks very regretful and doesn't want to lose me. He can't even look me in my eyes. Also, the last 3 years of our relationships were wonderful. Oh my gosh. He was so good to me, and he started living together. I couldn't believe it when I learned that he cheated on me. I'm just heartbroken and disappointed. I don't deserve this. I don't want to think that I wasn't enough or let the situation affect my self esteem. I want to forgive him, but it's very difficult at this moment. I am also pregnant, and this was the worst thing that could happen right now. Can I forgive him? Any tips on making this work? Whew, it's a lot to unpack here. First of all, you said he cheated on you the first few years of your relationship, but you did say it was long distance. So my question is, are you guys in the area where that person he was cheating on is? Because that will make me worried. If you guys are not in that same area, there is a possibility to rectify this. And did you just learn about it because you found out the information, or like how did you find out the information first of all? Because that will like really open the eyes on a lot of things. Um but he lied to you in the face. I mean, there's very few people that will tell the truth, when they get caught cheating and stuff. So that's a natural human reaction. Not saying it's okay. I'm sorry this happened, and I'm sorry you're pregnant. You definitely shouldn't be going through this, and you're pregnant. Your partner does look regretful. Honestly, I would that person definitely will be in the doghouse. I would definitely get a life coach or a therapist involved, to unpack and see why he cheated. Did he just cheat because you're a long distance or what? Because my next thing would be like, okay, so would you cheat on me now? And I also need to know, is it now he's cheating or what? Because you need to find out the root of the reason why he cheated in the first place, because it really doesn't make any sense for you to work it out if they're going to constantly cheat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he made a mistake. Um Depending on how recent, the last cheating, experience was, that's how I would address it. I personally will never be able to trust him, but you guys can work to a place where you could trust them again. And it also is based like situational as well. But you definitely need to unpack, why did your partner feel like they needed to cheat in the first place? Because once you find out that information, then you'll be able to know, is it worth saving or not? Um, if it's too much for you after you have the baby, separate. Separate. You could separate in the house or have him move out of the house, until you guys work through it and you feel comfortable, and they have put in enough work, they're showing up being remorseful, they're doing everything right. You guys could get to a good place if both of you guys want to get to a good place. But you're going to go through a whole bunch of different ways, but your question is, are you ever going to be able to, well, what you should be asking yourself is, are you going to be able to truly forgive your partner again? Okay. And if the answer is no, then the relationship is over. If the answer is yes, then you guys are going to have to put in a lot of work to make it work, but it is possible as long as you guys collectively come together that you're willing to make it work. Okay. That's how you would address that. Okay. And that's it. I hope you guys like this. If you guys like these little episodes on these real questions for people, let me know and I'll do more like these. But I wish you guys peace and blessings and good luck. Marriages are a lot of work, but you have to put in the work. Okay. And it takes two people. You cannot be successful by yourself. You can't do that. You got to put in the work. You got to identify the problem. You got to work through it, even when it feels difficult. But you can turn your marriage around, provided that you guys equally see it just. Okay. So good luck. I hope everybody that sent in these questions, that wrote these questions, I hope these answers are sufficient for you. And good luck on your marriage. And make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.